you doing, guys, and welcome. It is Kraken here, and we're back with the final dev stream number 4. Now, if you haven't checked out any of the other dev streams yet or any of the update news, make sure you check out my last video. A link will be at the top right now, and that is putting the last 3 dev streams all together in a nice little package for you to find out all the updates for Alpha 21. Also, I'm going to be in the streamer weekend for Alpha 21, so we'll get the game a couple of days early, and we're going to be streaming here on YouTube for you guys. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and then you get the earliest content for Alpha 21. Now, let's get cracking. Right, so let's jump straight into it. The first thing we're going to look at today is the optimization of the game and how long it takes to actually generate a new world now. So they've done a quick test here, showed us live on screen to make a 10k map. Only actually took 3 minutes to make. Now, they are running this on a bit of a supercomputer, so probably going to take a little bit longer for us, but for a 10k map, that is pretty damn fast. A lot faster than it used to be in the past. So they did talk about optimization, and hopefully that's going to be a lot better coming into Alpha 21. The other thing to notice on the screen here is the amount of wilderness POIs. There is absolutely loads of them. Those little white dots that you can see away from the cities are those wilderness POIs. So that's going to be something really to look out for in Alpha 21. Also, they have mentioned there's going to be more traders than normal. Also, traders can now spawn out in the wilderness, not just in the city tiles like before. So that will give us a lot more opportunity to maybe start out in the wilderness to begin with, and then go and take on the big cities. Also to note here, the preview quality goes a lot higher than it did before. You can actually put the preview quality up, which will take a little bit more memory, but if you actually look through, you can work out what buildings you actually have in your cities now. We can see here from this preview here, we can see Bob the Builders, we can see the Higashi Tower, and we can see Dishon Tower there. So that's pretty good. Now, we've touched on this one before, but we're going to have another look at it again because it is actually really good now. All the wilderness roads actually lead to POIs now, which is really good. Also, they've done a lot of work to make sure that all the different types of POIs are actually spawning in our maps now, because before there was quite a few missing. Right, so this is a nice fun category. Dismemberment of the zombies. There used to be 8 zombies before that did some dismemberment. There is now 20, and they dismember in a lot of different ways now. Depending on what type of item you use, depends on what type of wound is going to actually be left on the zombies. If you use a machete like they do here, it's a nice clean cut. If you use a blunt weapon, you're going to be left with a little bit of jiggle physics in there as well. Also, there's 2 different parts of the arms that you can chop off, and 2 different parts of the legs you can chop off as well. So as you can see here, there's a lot more detail as well in here. You can actually see parts of the bones sticking out of the leg. So as you can see here from the worker zombie, they've actually got quite a cool animation that when you actually cut his head off, the helmet does actually go flying as well. So another gruesome bit of animation here with the skater boy zombie. If you actually hit him with a blunt weapon, it takes half of his head off, and the hood actually stays and covers the rest of his head. Ugh. So pipe bombs have always been an effective weapon against the zombies, but now they seem to fly a little bit higher and then turn all into crawlers, so maybe even better than before. Now, looking at this clip, this is something that really caught my eye. Look how effective these landmines are against the zombies. Are these going to be now better than spikes? Right, now on to the workstations. We didn't know if we were actually going to get this into Alpha 21, but they have actually managed to do it. So now the forge has actually got bigger in size. It's 2 squares wide rather than just being 1 square wide. And also when you add the crucible, the bellows, and the anvil, they actually now show up on the workstations. Also, another nice little thing that they've added is that the workstations actually light up now when they're crafting, and then go darker again when they finish crafting. You can see that with the workbench here. In the future with the workbench, there are going to be adding other things that you can add to it, like the forge. What these tools are going to be, we have no idea, but this is going to be for a later alpha. Now on to the next section. They have done some work with the scopes. They now have better zooming and more accuracy, and you can also start playing with the settings in them as well if you want to do that even faster. But if shooting with a scope isn't quite your thing, you can just run over the zombies. But be careful though, because this is going to do a lot more damage to your vehicles now. But what I do like from this clip here is that it does actually slow the vehicle down as you're going through a big horde of zombies. So you've got to be careful with this one, but it does do quite a significant amount of damage, and if you do too much damage, you will catch your vehicle on fire. Water in 7 Days to Die has always been an issue. It's been like going through maple syrup, but they've done a lot of work to this now, and it is looking a lot better. When you're swimming underneath the water, you actually get some quite cool effects now. You can see the top of the water, and you see these bits of algae as well in the water, which looks really, really good. You can swim a lot faster through the water than you could before, but this does burn through your stamina. When you run out of stamina, you will dip back under the water. Also, this now leads me on to Wandering Hordes. Wandering Hordes, they've done some work on, and they're going to be a lot more reliable, which is going to be more dangerous for us. They're meant to actually spawn twice a day, but in the previous alphas, how often did you actually see them twice a day? Now on to a brand new mechanic in the game. When you go hunting, if a zombie is too close to you, they are actually going to start eating your kill. This could lead to two different things. Either you getting less meat if you get rid of the zombie, or they could eat the whole thing, so you end up with no meat at all. Now we're on to something really exciting. Got to really take my hats off to this one, because this looks absolutely fantastic. There's a new dev grenade. It's only available in the creative menu, but they've used it here to show off how the buildings now collapse. They've made this look much better than they ever did before. You can see Lathan using the new dev grenades here, and also he's using the dynamite as well. You can see how it works on the wooden buildings, and then he starts taking Dishong Tower apart. How good does this animation now look of all the blocks now falling from the building? So much better than it used to do it in the past. So this dev tool has been in the creative menu for quite a long time now, but they've done some significant improvements to it now. You can now copy terrain and paste that over the floor like you can see Lathan doing right now. Also, you can now make this tool much bigger and make some really big pits. Right, now everyone's favourite addition to Alpha 21, the Dew Collector. So we've got a little bit more information about the Dew Collector now, because I know a lot of you are very worried about it. By the looks of it, you still do get jars of water, but they work in the same way as the gas cans. When you drink that jar of water, that jar will then disappear. So that's what we mean by all the jars have now been taken out of the game. So when your Dew Collector fills up, and it'll fill up 3 jars a day, you will be able to take them with you doing quests when you're doing things in the wilderness. But when you drink that jar, that will disappear. Murky water is still going to be lootable in POIs and in trash and in places like that, but the jars are kind of still in the game, but not at the same time. So we've also found out a bit more knowledge about how the trader system is now going to work. This seems to be a combination of your game stage plus what level quests you've been doing with the traders. There's a little bonus added on there. So if you're doing level 1 quests and you've got a low game stage, there's a little bonus added to it. So the things you're going to buy from the trader are going to be very, very low. You're not going to see things like a gyrocopter in the trader from the first day. Right, guys. So there you have it. That's basically everything from the dev stream number 4, which, like we said at the beginning, is going to be the last dev stream that they're actually going to do. Lathan did spend a bit of time at the end talking about Twitch integration and how that'll work. I haven't really dabbled too much in Twitch integration, so I'm sure you'll be able to get that knowledge from one of the streamers who can explain it a lot better than I can. But that's everything I've got for you. Don't forget, I am going to be in the streamer weekend, so make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be getting you out that content as early as possible. That's everything from me, guys. You have a cracking day, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Take it easy.